It's a place where the impossible is made real, where dusty village pitches become launch pads to global glory. It's where a boy with nothing but a dream and a ball can become a god to millions. Across 54 nations under blazing suns and stormy skies, legends have been carved from sweat, sacrifice, and soul. This is not just a list of players. This is a celebration of greatness. These are warriors who've lifted entire nations on their shoulders. Artists who've painted masterpieces with every touch. Heroes who've battled adversity, racism, war, poverty, and still came out shining. So, before we begin this emotional and powerful journey through Africa's football royalty, do us a favor. Like this video, comment below with your favorite African legend, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring football stories from across the world. Now, let's dive into the top 10 greatest African football players of all time now. It's number 10, George Weah, Liberia, the only African Ballon d'Or winner, a king from chaos. From the war-torn streets of Monrovia to the glittering lights of Milan, George Weah is more than a footballer. He is a living, breathing miracle. In 1995, when he won the Ballon d'Or, the only African ever to do so, he didn't just shatter ceilings. He shattered stereotypes. We had danced between defenders with raw power and grace. And whether at Paris, Saint-Germain, or AC Milan, he made the impossible look effortless. But his greatest contribution gave hope to millions of Africans who saw themselves. In his journey, even after football, he never stopped leading. He became president of Liberia, proving once again that true greatness knows no limits. George Weah is not just an icon, he is the soul of African football. Now it's number 9, Samuel Eto'o, Cameroon, the lion with the golden feet. George Weah opened the doors. Samuel Eto'o kicked them wide open. Eto'o is Africa's most decorated striker, a 4-time African Player of the Year, multiple-time Champions League winner with both Barcelona and Inter Milan, and the nightmare of defenders everywhere. What set Eto'o apart wasn't just his blistering speed or lethal finishing, it was his fire, the hunger in his eyes, the refusal to be second best. In every game, Eto'o played like he was carrying a continent. And in many ways he was. From the fields of Douala to the grandest stages of Europe. He didn't just play, he conquered. Now it's number 8. Didier Drogba, Ivory Coast, the warrior who united a nation to Chelsea fans. He's a legend. 2 Ivorians, he's a savior. Didier Drogba was more than a striker. He was a leader in the truest sense. Man who stopped civil war in his country by calling for unity, not from a podium, but from a football pitch. On the field, he was a juggernaut, towering, fearless, and clutch in every big moment. 2-time African Player of the Year, multiple Premier League titles, and the unforgettable Champions League final of 2012, where he scored the equalizer and winning penalty for Chelsea. He didn't just win matches, he changed lives. Now it's Yaya Toure, Ivory Coast, the midfield general with a touch of genius when Yaya Toure ran the midfield. It felt like watching poetry in motion. Written in steel at Manchester City, he wasn't just a player, he was the pulse of the team, the engine, the architect. A man who could bulldoze past defenders and curl in a free kick with elegance. 4-time African Player of the Year. A crucial part of City's rise to English dominance. And one of the few players to master both power and finesse, Yaya didn't just play midfield, he redefined it now. It's number 6, Abedi Pelé, the original maestro, father of African flair. Before there was magic in the boots of today's stars, there was Abedi Pelé, the Ghanaian genius who glided across pitches like a ballerina on fire. 3-time African Player of the Year, Champions League winner with Marseille, and the heartbeat of Ghanaian football in the 80s and 90s. He played with elegance, with intelligence, vision that saw passes before the game itself knew they were possible. His legacy doesn't end with him. Sons Andre and Jordan Ayew now carry the torch. But make no mistake, Abedi Pelé lit it. Now it's number 5. Roger Milla, Cameroon, the ageless wonder who danced into history. Some Men become legends because of what they achieve in their prime. Roger Milla became one at 38 years old at the 1990 World Cup. When most players retire, Milla exploded onto the global stage. He scored goal after goal, danced at the corner flag, and led Cameroon to the quarterfinals, the furthest an African team had ever gone. He showed the world that Africa wasn't just a participant, it was a force. His smile, his rhythm, his joy, it was football at its most pure. Now it's number 4 Mohamed Salah, Egypt. The Pharaoh's still writing his story. If there's one African player dominating the modern era, it's Mohamed Salah. From rejection at Chelsea to becoming a king at Liverpool, Salah has scripted a comeback story for the ages. Premier League champion, Champions League winner, multiple golden boots, and a hero for Egypt, both on and off the pitch. His blistering pace, his deadly left foot, his humility. Salah isn't just a footballer, he's a symbol of resilience, of faith, and of destiny. And the most exciting part is the story is far from over. Now, it's number 3, Nwankwo Kanu, Nigeria, the unpredictable. Magician Nwankwo Kanu played football like he was playing jazz, unorthodox, spontaneous, and unforgettable. From winning the Champions League with Ajax to lifting the Premier League with Arsenal and claiming Olympic gold for Nigeria, Kanu's resume glitters. But it was his style, those long limbs, that deceptive speed. It's the magical touch that made him special. He overcame heart surgery, critics, and expectations, and he did it all with a smile. Kanu wasn't just great, he was unique. Now it's Jay-Jay Okocha, Nigeria, so good they named him twice. There are legends. And then there are entertainers. Jay-Jay Okocha was both. His footwork defied physics. His dribbling hypnotized defenders. His flair made fans fall in love with the game all over again. Whether at PSG, Fenerbahce, or Bolton Wanderers, Okocha wasn't just playing, he was performing, inspiring millions of young African players to dream, dance, dare. He made football beautiful, because that's what legends do. Now it's number 1 Rabah. Bajera, the back heel, heard around the world in 1987 on Europe's biggest stage. Rabah. Major did the unthinkable, scoring a back heel goal in the European Cup final that would echo through history. But Major was more than a moment. He was a pioneer, led Algeria to its first major AFCON title, and helped put North African football on the global map. Elegant, technical, bold. He remains a legend in Algeria and a name etched in the archives of football greatness. From the desert dunes of Algeria to the coastal streets of Accra, from Lagos traffic to Cairo's ancient walls, these players weren't just athletes. They were symbols of hope. They carried the weight of continents, battled adversity with grace, and showed the world that greatness can rise from anywhere, even the humblest beginnings. So now it's your turn. Who inspired you the most? Which African legend made you fall in love with the game? Let us know in the comments. Smash that like button and subscribe to join us on more incredible journeys through football's forgotten heroes and untold stories.